Got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get it started.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the ones in attendance and the millions watching around the world, the Big Bag Network presents the High Flying Podcast.
This is the High Flying Podcast where we be drop kicking it with the boys. So make sure to body slam that like, share, and subscribe button. I am your host, Biggie Bag Johnny, back with another video. And today we just basically going over some things. We're going to talk about some things. Last night probably was like one of the best Raws that you could have possibly put on for that was like a go home show for WrestleMania. But whatever they did last night, just continue doing it. So real quick, we're gonna do the review of the Raw, review of Dark Side, and we're gonna talk some shit. But right now, Paul Levesque, bro, on behalf of the High Flying Podcast, we have to salute you because man, last night was crazy. If you missed it, we're here to review. We did live reactions last night, and I don't know if you guys tune in, but Mondays is not really my thing. I don't like working Mondays, so I might do a half a day on Monday or some shit like that, or whatever the case may be. But last night I did finish watching wrestling, but it was with the wife and stuff like that. But last night, my guys, okay. First of all, right now, if you are tuned into the High Flying Podcast and you are not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, that like, share, and subscribe button. And remember to tell a friend to tell a friend. Another thing, this is the High Flying Podcast where we like to get high, talk shit, pop our shit, talk wrestling, and play games while we do it. So thank you, everybody that tunes in. But last night, Road to WrestleMania, we started out with Cody Rhodes in the building. And of course, Cody, you know, he's a talkative guy. You know, if you got WWE 2K24, his promo skills is a level 5. Okay. He's up there. You know what I mean? His talking skills is amazing. You know, Cody's telling his story. I said a big part of this storyline is Cody doing his promos. I'm totally cool with it. You know, do your thing. He was cutting his promos. He was saying his shit. He was popping his shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Cody always says something. Even when you think he's not, Cody's always saying something crazy. So Cody's popping his shit, and you know he's telling you what's gonna happen, and you know he's calling his shot, and he's running everything down, and you know he's painting the picture, and he's letting you know this and that, and then all of a sudden, The Rock's music hits. And ladies and gentlemen, when this music hits, I'm not gonna lie, I went crazy. If you go watch the live reaction, I was going crazy. The Rock is in the building, whether we like it or not. This is The Rock, okay? This is the dude that no matter what you do, no matter, you know, because when he came back, I was like, ugh, The Rock is so overrated. Like, you know what I mean? It's just why, right? But last night proved to everybody why The Rock is the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. The Rock proceeded to The Rock proceeded to show everybody why he is the final boss. Cody's talking his shit. Rock comes in, doesn't say a word. I'm not gonna lie. It was Hogan Rock all over again because they didn't say anything. The crowd is going crazy. Holy shit. This is awesome. All of this shit was just being announced last night. Fucking crazy. Went crazy. I was losing my mind. Not a word said between the two. Rock puts his hands behind his back, meaning, he comes in, with no drama right now. And then he leans into Cody and he's telling him, I lip sync what he said. He said, you won't make it out tonight, or some shit like that. Like some shit about tonight. Tonight, I'm gonna hurt you. Some shit, right? And then he proceeds to walk off. Everybody's mad. Oh, Rocky sucks. Die, Rocky, die. I loved it. It was like, you wasted a good 5 minutes of my time, but for some reason, I'll allow it. That's what I was thinking. That was in my head. Like, I'll allow it. You know what I mean? He did his thing. All right, fine. Backstage, they like, yo, Rock, what you said to homie? Rock is like, fuck that nigga. You go ask him. And proceeded to go on. Rock is a man that he doesn't need many words. And last night, very much proved so. This is why The Rock is on board. This is why The Rock is showing everybody why he is the brand. You don't, like, everybody says, oh, when they come into WWE, they feel like, they leave or they get fired or some WWE fucks them in some type of way. And they feel like, they'll leave and they the brand would hurt without them. Which is a lie, which is a complete, total blasphemous lie. WWE would not hurt with any of these guys. But with The Rock, it's a different story. Like, with The Rock is like, this dude is fucking on another level. Like, it doesn't matter what you do with The Rock, he's gonna be that guy. You know what I mean? And yeah, so he left you on that cliffhanger where he told Cody what he was gonna tell Cody. Now we want to know what Cody said. Boom, they go on commercial. Of course, gotta pay bills, right? We come back. And we're getting the Judgment Day telling JD, like, yo, my nigga, what we doing? Because you've been out here for a minute. We cold right now, and we need a fucking win from you. You ain't been doing shit. So, Judgment Day is falling. They were over, and now they're not. So we're getting Ricochet versus DJ McDonough. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You already knew where this was going. Now, if they would have said Dominique and Ricochet maybe, or somebody else, even Rhea, I would have been like, oh yeah, Judgment Day is coming out with this. But since JD was the sacrifice lamb, we all knew where we were going here. Here's why they call my man's the human highlight reel. Ricochet does shit that people aren't supposed to do off the ground. Like, you're not supposed to be able to jump in the air and then do a fucking bunch of flips in the air and then frog splash me. And like, you shouldn't be able to jump from the ground into the air 100 feet, do 50 flips, a backflip, and some other shit, and then frog splash me. It just shouldn't happen. But Ricochet defines the odds. And every time that man comes out, he finds a way to show us why he should be on this roster. He did some shit, and I was just like, he did some fucking shit. I don't know what it was called. They was like, yo, they don't even know what it was called. Frankensteiner, I don't know what the fuck they called it, but it was crazy. So shouts out to Ricochet. Secondly, he's fucking Samantha Irvin. He's won. You don't even need to put the title on him. He's got Samantha. She announces his name. Like, she calls his name regardless. If they break up, she still has. Anyways, I digress. This is good for Ricochet. I'm cool with that. But what we do next, they go on commercial, and then they hit us with probably one of the best segments not coming from the bloodline. This segment had nothing to do with the bloodline, and this shit shined like a diamond in the sky. All right? These motherfuckers put on. All right, so let me explain. So we in Chicago, all right? So if y'all didn't watch last night, Monday Night Raw took place in Chicago. Now, for somebody that's been missing on the roster that we all notice is CM Punk. But of course, we in Chicago tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta bring CM Punk out, right? We got to. Like, we ain't gonna leave CM Punk out of Chicago. We can't. He's cutting a promo. He doesn't know what he's gonna do for Mania. He should do this. He should do that. And then all of a sudden, he's saying nobody can lace boots with him. It's not Seth Rollins. He don't fuck with me. This person over. Shit, The Rock hasn't even said anything about me. And that's the boss. That's what he's saying. Like, he's like, yo, not even The Rock wants to fuck with me. And in my opinion, I didn't grow up on CM Punk. I kind of got out of early attitude, early ruthless aggression. I just kind of got out of that. And then it was just, I kind of came back. I heard about CM Punk and, I heard about Cena and all of these other guys that was coming up, but I really wasn't in that era. I came when, like, The Shield was coming out. But, so I hear a lot about Punk, but from what I'm hearing now, I've seen promos with Punk and seeing him obliviate people. Like, I'm talking about just destroy a motherfucker on the mic. But they paired him up with Drew McIntyre on this time go around. And my guys, my high flyers. My guy Drew McIntyre has been fucking CM Punk up. Like, CM Punk, like, this is that part in Black Panther where dude is beating the shit out of Black Panther and he's like, this is your king? Like, Drew McIntyre is on another level. Like, on another level. I never want to see the good Hulk Hogan McIntyre. I only want the Scottish Psychopath from now on. Between his promo games and everything else that he's got going on, like, fire, right? So Punk comes out. Of course, it's Chicago, so I don't know if it was me, but I didn't really feel the love the way that I thought it would be for CM Punk. I don't know why I thought, like, I feel like last time they were in Chicago, they went way more ham because he was there, you know what I mean? Anyways, they go, he cuts his promo, Drew comes out. And Drew is like, it's funny how you a motherfucker that don't do no type of drugs, you don't drink, you don't do nothing, but you stay in rehab. Like, this is battle rap at this point to me, guys. Like, I'm looking at the insults. I don't even care about the matches right now. It's like, how good did you get this dude before you went on to your match? Like, are you selling this fight enough for me to want to go and, like, watch this shit and, like, you really do your thing? And they're doing that. I want to see everything. I want to see Drew McIntyre and Punk. I want to see everything that's going on. And so Drew comes crushing Punk. Then all of a sudden Punk is on some like, yo, Chicago, boo this man. They don't boo him. No, I'm sorry. Seth comes out. And when Seth comes out, Seth is running the show. Like, obviously, Seth is the bigger of the two. Like, Seth is showing his levels, right? So you knew Seth got at him because fucking he's like, yo, this might be your show, but this is my city. And I'm like, what? I was just like, yo, they were just going at it, bro. When I tell you this was the best pipe bomb ever, I was totally cool with it, right? All of this shit going. I don't know what's real. I don't know what's fake. It's just so good. Everything is just so good. Everything that's unfolding is so good. Like with the main event spots, it's just so good. Drew, sorry guys. Drew was talking his shit now. Drew was like, yo, fuck this dude. Just fuck him. Fuck him and everything he's saying, and this is gonna be my story, and I want you to watch me, and like ain't nothing more better than you calling my match at my time of coming up. Like I want you to see, and I'm just like, yo, I don't think CM Punk could fuck with Drew McIntyre. I don't think a lot of people, once they put that belt on Drew and they send Seth the fuck away, I don't see a lot of people, like nobody really fucking with this dude, bro. I just don't. Like Drew's on another level. That's a period fucking point blank. They get into it. CM Punk says some slick shit and he just tries to walk off. Like, yo, you know what? Fuck y'all. Like, this is my city. I see y'all. I'll accept the shit. I'll call your shit, but just accept that some shit is gonna happen. And he tries to walk off, and then Drew's like, nah, fuck that. You ain't getting the last word. It's on me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is my shit. Like, you know what I mean? He's talking his shit, and he's like, it's so good. It's so good. He's like, you're my personal stand. He's like, hey Drew, hit me back just to chill. Sincerely yours. Your biggest fan. This is Phil. And like, yo. For you to quote an Eminem line and tell this dude that he's your stand, and then quote the line of Eminem, and I was just like, yo, what? Boom. There was a segment with R-Truth, Miz, DIY, and the New Day, and they're talking trash to each other. I'm peeping the background. I don't know how many people peeped it. I don't know how many of you guys seen it, but I'm peeping the background, and in the background, they got Paul Heyman and Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre is looking like he is airing out all his grievance about what just happened. Now, for the last couple weeks, we've been seeing Drew McIntyre align himself low-key with the Bloodline. And as you see, the Bloodline is running everything this WrestleMania. Just like WrestleMania 9, WrestleMania 40 is no different. It is Bloodline the fuck out. Okay? We got the Usos versus the Usos and the Tribal Chief and The Rock both nights. So it's going to be Bloodlined out. But what I was saying, Drew is going to align himself with the Bloodline in some type of way, whether it's protection, whether it's however, because he's being a hypocrite on everything he's ever said. He's mad that the Bloodline got involved in his matches and cost him his shit. Bloodline is doing the shit for him. So it's now he's talking to Paul Heyman in the back. It's a lot of shit going on that Drew's, you know what I mean? So bad. So we get that. Now we get it was a random ass Candace and some chick, I forgot, somebody, and it was just random. Like I didn't understand what was the point of this match. So then you get DIY and the New Day, and they're going at it. And of course you get R-Truth just making something so simple as doing commentary, and he steals the fucking yo, R-Truth is literally gold. Like I can't with R-Truth. Like he's so good. He's like, go to break. It was just funny. Oh my God, R-Truth is so fucking good. Like he's so good. And he's like 60 years old and he's so fucking good. Anyways, after that match with DUI and all of that, and Judgment Day gets involved and everything, you get more Judgment Day. So this is good. Now we getting Judgment Day back in the picture. You know what I mean? We getting more, more shit. So you get Dirty Dom and Rhea Ripley coming out. And when Rhea comes out, she's cutting a promo. And when she's cutting this promo, she's just putting it on notice like, this is forever. This isn't just a reign for right now, and I'm going to be like over with when I lose this. Like, I'm here, and there's no woman, and then the man comes out. You know what I mean? She's like, no woman can fuck with me, and then the man comes out. And Becky's trying to be slick with her shit, and I don't know if this was real. I don't know if this was fake. But Rhea says some shit about Becky's daughter, right? And it goes downhill. Becky starts being also like, bitch, I'm a good mother. First of all, let me tell you something. I feel like all bad mothers get so, like, I think Becky's guilty of some shit. Because as soon as Becky said, Rhea said some shit like, I'm gonna put you out of your misery, but I'm not gonna kill you. You're like a cockroach. You're hard to kill. You know what I mean? Or some shit, but it's not impossible. She's like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna put you on the injured list and put you on your couch. And I want you and your daughter to watch me. And I want you to watch your daughter grow up calling me mommy. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. You are fire. That's fire. Oh my God. Like, no way she just fucking said that. There's no way she just said that. Like, that was a bar, bruh. That was a fucking bar. You're going to sit at home and watch your daughter grow up calling me mommy? Ouch. Yo, Becky got instantly, nah, I'm a good goddamn mother. That's what my daddy would say. Like, what? Nigga, where did that come from? Like, yeah, you're guilty of some shit. They get into it, and Dom is like, nah, she ain't worth it, some shit. And Becky hits Dom. Then, Rhea and Becky gets into it. Blase, blah. They got to break it up. Big thing. Sell the fight. I'm a mommy fan, so it doesn't matter who you put in front of Rhea at this point. Like, she should be the longest reigning women's champion. I'm talking about years. I'm talking about longer than what Roman's doing. I'm talking about longer than any woman in the world could do. I'm talking about put the strap on Rhea until you can't milk that cow anymore. Right? Fucking star. She's a star. Everybody said it. I remember Jim Cornette saying it years ago. It's just, right? Boom. The main event of the night that was promoted was Jey Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, we all know that the Bloodline is stalking these motherfuckers on Raw. We all know that you're not safe if you have anything to do with the bloodline. If you have any issues or any ties to the bloodline, you gonna get your shit fucked up. That's that. That's that. Like, you know what I mean? So you knew that this match with Shinsuke was gonna be an ass whipping for Jay no matter what. Whether it was going to be an interference, disqualification, you know, I want to say that I thought he was gonna win, but I knew the ass whipping was coming right after. And sure enough, they put on a great match, great fucking match. You know, you had Jay going in, you had Shinsuke doing work, of course, but Shinsuke came out with the loss, I believe. And right after, boom. Jimmy and Solo whipping ass. And then, you know, Seth was on point. Seth was like, nah, someone fell right from the jump. So, you know, he had Cody on deck, ready to do their thing. Here's my thing. I don't trust Seth. I've been said it. I said it on other podcasts. I don't trust Seth. That is just what it is. Like, I feel like it's something there that's just, I don't know. We got to do some fantasy booking before before WrestleMania, but I just don't trust it. But Seth and Cody came out. You know, Cody had to go ham. You know what I mean? He was going ham. They took it backstage and you know, he's handling business, and then all of a sudden, after whipping ass, The Rock comes out, and it's just like everything's just like, whoa, everything stops. And when I say stops, it's like this ass whooping was different. This ass whooping, it was like that 90s ass whipping, bro. It was like, yo, that 90s backstage brawl where I feel Attitude Era vibes, and I don't know about y'all, but I think that's what The Rock is really pushing for, and I'm all for it. See, here's the thing I heard on somewhere. Their contract with Fox is up in September. So what are you gonna do? I mean, like, or you know what I mean? Their contract is done in September. So what are you gonna do to somebody that's like 5 months out of their contract? So they're pushing the little ass and little dick syndrome, and they pushing this shit. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? So I feel like that's cool as far as yeah, I just feel like it's fucking, yeah. It's weird. It's fucking weird. So Jimmy wins, Jay wins, and then ass whipping, and something happens where he get busted open. And it was like, there's blood. There's blood. Wow. Like, we're really in the attitude there. So he's telling them, like, he starts talking, The Rock starts talking to Cody Rhodes' mom. He takes the belt out, he rubs the blood on. He's like, yo, I told you, you're gonna get this belt, you're gonna get this, and and I'm just like, wow, that's wild. You know what I mean? Just it pushed where it's just like, I'm like really into this shit, bro. I'm super into this shit. So I'm just ready. I'm just ready for next segment. I'm ready for I'm ready to just see what the fuck they got going on, because now they got it to the point where it's gonna build beyond WrestleMania. This goes beyond WrestleMania. The stories that they're telling, everything that's going on, it's beyond WrestleMania. So great job. This is probably one of the best Raws and I don't know how long. I'm pretty sure the views were crazy. I'm pretty sure that I'm sure. I'm almost positive. I'm just for sure. So 5 stars. Shouts out to Triple H, everybody in Gorilla, everybody that did their stories. I wish Bailey told the story. I just need more from Bailey. This story, with Bailey and EO needs to like start telling itself. So, with all that being said, we are now to the question of hand while we're all here. One of the inductees of the 2024 Hall of Fame that's going to take place next week in Philadelphia, which I will probably be at. I got to be there, right? Like I got to be there. I forgot where I was going. Yeah, so Paul Heyman is going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And that means a lot to a lot of people. There's a lot of careers and there's a lot of debt that is owed to that man. ECW got put out of business because of debt that was owed money-wise. Paul Heyman is owed debt and that can never be paid. Without Paul Heyman, not only would there not be an ECW, there wouldn't be a Brock Lesnar. There wouldn't be a Bloodline. There wouldn't be an invasion. Certain guys would have never been. You know how many times you can go and hear about a wrestler that Paul Heyman has somewhat influenced in some type of way, whether it was producing their match or giving them advice or just putting them on and giving them a chance. When WWE wasn't doing it, Paul Heyman was taking that risk. Paul Heyman is guaranteed, if not the best, one of the top 3 best managers of all. I'm going to go a step further with that and say he's probably top 3 best minds in wrestling. And and my top 3 is very simple. It's going to be it's Paul Heyman, Jim Cornette, Vince McMahon, or you could go Pat Patterson. You know what I mean? Paul Heyman is a different animal though, because these guys are dead and retired. Paul Heyman is still going. Paul Heyman's been going since he was a baby. I think Paul Heyman came out calling matches. You know what I mean? The story that I can hear about the guy and the story that Netflix will get on this man and the documentaries that be told after he's gone, but the flowers that he's going to smell in Philadelphia next week is going to be different. If you think that motherfucking whole block from fucking wherever they're from to the hood of Philadelphia, every wrestling fan is going to be chanting ECW, thank you, Paul. I guarantee you this. Paul Heyman is the best manager, brain, hand. That man doesn't need to take bumps or nothing. Listen, bro. All Paul Heyman needs to do is just show his face. He's been a commentary. Listen, he's done it all. Sabu, Dudley Boys, Rob Van Dam, Taz, Tommy Dreamer, Shane Douglas, Jazz, Mean Mark Calloway, Stunning Steve Austin. He's been behind so many things before it was a Paul Heyman. Like, dude, this man is like on another level. Like, yo, bro, when you think of Paul Heyman, it's like words couldn't describe. If Paul Heyman wasn't in wrestling, there would be a piece that just isn't fulfilled. The hardcore division wouldn't be the same hardcore division. I don't even think there would be a hardcore division if it wasn't for Paul Heyman. I don't think it would be a soul that really was out there that would take the risk that he did on certain people. Paul took risks. Like, people took risks financially, but they wanted to be safe. That wasn't in that category in ECW and when Paul Heyman was running shit. I don't know a dude that Paul Heyman managed that wasn't a fucking champion. Everything that Paul, like, you could have had the bloodline, right? You could have had the bloodline with just Roman and the Usos and Sammy and all of that. But would it have been the same? I believe it would have been over. I believe it would have been good. But would it have been the same? Paul's like he's the godfather of this, right? He's the godfather of hardcore. He's a pillar of wrestling in general, not just WWE. Like, this man was everywhere. He was, you know what I mean? It was his knowledge was ever scattered. Like this is in the world of wrestling. So Attitude Era was, you know, a piece of Paul. ECW was just, it was different. I remember being in New York and watching ECW at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, what the fuck? It's wrestling, so fuck it, let me watch it. And just watching these dudes, like, this is good. This is good because I can't watch this when, you know, WWE, you know, and I'm a big WWE fan. So when, you know, another product came out, I've never watched a WCW pay-per-view or AEW or anything like that, you know, and I never knew there was an indies until recently. Like, I swear to God, like, I've been a wrestling fan, a WWE fan, F fan my whole life, but I've never known that there was an indie scene. You know, I thought you just came in WWE and then that was it. You know what I mean? I didn't know that, you know, it was levels to this shit. And Paul Heyman had a different level to this shit. Like, he didn't just have a spot that some guys was coming and it was just like everything else. Like, these dudes was going through burnt tables and hitting each other with bats and like going through the crowd. It was so like, and it was like so raw. And the entrances, it was just like, yo, bro, 2:30 in the morning, like, this was the shit. Like, yo, this was the shit. Like, you had to be there. You had to be there because you didn't have your phone. You didn't have your phone, so you had to watch something. And what a time on a Saturday night, Sunday night to be watching wrestling, because you knew you only had wrestling Monday nights and Thursday nights. That was it. That was the only wrestling you had. Monday Nitro, Monday Night Raw, Thunder, SmackDown. That was it. It's not like now where we could go and just watch clips and shit like that. Like, so when you didn't have any of this and you had insomnia like I did, I'm watching ECW. And I just remember this fat dude with a trench coat, and he was not even that fat. Actually, Paul was way slimmer than he was, with a hat that said ECW or Yankees, with a ponytail. And I remember him just spitting. Like, all of this was all foamy and just, he was just spitting. But I was just like, I like this dude. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, that dude was Paul Heyman. And the Yankee hat with the fucking ponytail shit, that was his gimmick for a very long time with the ECW shit. And it worked. I love Paul, man. Like, thinking of those times where it's just like, yo, like what he did for the company. And I was there when ECW was at its finest. I remember when Rob Van Dam and Sabu was coming in, like, and it was like rare. It was rare to see these dudes. Like, hold up, I just seen this. Like, I just seen this dude over here. Like, oh, this shit is real. Like, it was just, it's crazy. That's old Paul's crazy ass mind, bro. I don't know if he's a plant. I don't know what if he's just really that good. I don't know. I don't know. But I know that Paul Heyman is the greatest of all time. And when you go from that to swallow your pride, to go working for your competition, somewhat your competition, or getting shut down by the competition, just saying that it's over because of, you know, you can't pay your bills, and then going to work for the competition, or people that stole your ideas, and just just swallowing that pride and going on and doing it, man, that's crazy, bro. That takes another level of dignity and manhood. Like, it's just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, bro. You understand? So, Paul came in as an announcer for WWE when he did the invasion. Yo, babe, can I get a water? When he did the invasion angle, it was like he was the Jerry the King. You know, when Jerry the King had to leave, Paul filled that heel spot. And I didn't like him because he was the competition coming in. You know, he was repping the WCW, ECW. So it was like, but I fucked with him because he was the heel. He was the heel. And, you know, I've always been a heel lover. You know what I mean? So you get to that, and he's doing that for a while. So you get to know Paul Heyman a little bit more. You know what I mean? You get to know him on a weekly basis. You know, you're familiar with him now. And then he kind of like disappears, right? I think, yeah, he disappears, and then he comes back with the biggest thing in the world today. And this was like in 2002, 2003. Paul Heyman came out with Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock Lesnar was doing his own thing. He was by himself. He was doing, you know what I mean? He was cool. We knew him for his football shit. And, yeah, he was cool. He was big. You know, he had the And he had the shit where he used to do this shit, and that was Brock Lesnar's gimmick. You know what I mean? Just like he was just like a freak. But you know, he was something about him, but he was all right. Nothing special about him. It wasn't until that motherfucker came back and destroyed The Rock with Paul Heyman by his side, where everybody looked at Brock Lesnar like, this dude is a fucking beast. And it's how Heyman presents you. Like, Heyman is the best hype man in the world. Like, Heyman's not gonna represent you and just be like, yeah, this is my client. Yeah, you know, he'll probably fuck you up. You know what I mean? So don't get, you know, he could have been that guy. Hey, don't get fucked up for I have to call my client and have to do some real shit. No, Paul Heyman prays. He fucking bows down. He worships his clients. He puts his Paul Heyman is the friend that I need. Paul Heyman is the friend that you want, because he's gonna believe in everything that you believe in, and he's gonna put your fucking dreams, and he's gonna tell everybody how they should fucking believe in your dreams. That's the type of person Paul Heyman is, and that's not a gimmick. That's not just how he's just playing. That's really him. When you see him holding that title with Roman Reigns and he's looking at him, yes, it's weird. You always take the gimmick. They always say you take the gimmick and then you enhance it by 100. I believe Paul Heyman is that person he plays every single week. And that's why I love him, because he's a person that if he believes in something and he knows it's going to sell, he's going to make that bitch sell. He did it with Brock Lesnar for years. He did it with, first of all, he did it with ECW, all those guys. Then he did it with Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, another big name that owes Paul Heyman a lot of credit. And then now, mine and yours, Tribal Chief, Roman fucking Reigns. And that's not even me going through this man's career. That's me skimming through the last 20 years of Paul Heyman's career. The last 20, 25 years of that man's career. And we're only about 15 minutes into this. It's crazy how good that man is. It's ridiculous how long it took for this man to get inducted into this Hall of Fame, that he deserves so much. So much. So, Paul Heyman, the question is, I'm sorry, I had to say all of that because we're still in the Paul Heyman phase. And if you're a Paul Heyman guy, you're made. Everybody will tell you that. If you're a Paul Heyman guy, you're made. So, with all that being said, there's a lot of Paul Heyman guys. If you do the research, there's a lot. We could run them down, and we're going to be here forever. We're going to run them down. And you're going to, you know, when they were cutting the promo about Dusty Rhodes, about how he helped Dusty and the family, you know what I mean? Like, there's a legacy there, people. This is a legacy, you know what I mean? Like, that's where you live on forever. People are gonna remember that because you was helping the big names when they were in the struggle, and you was in the struggle. You know what I mean? So, with all that being said, like I said, there's a bunch of Paul Heyman guys, but nobody knows who is going to induct this legend, this mogul, this fucking entity, this god. Let's just put it out there. This manager god of wrestling, right? I mean, we could throw names out there, right? Let's be real. We could throw names out there. We could play with this. Let's say Tommy Dreamer. Taz, some ECW figure, right? We could go to Dudley Boys. In my opinion, I'm gonna tell you after what some candidates could be. In my opinion, I know where we can go with it. There's two ways we can go with it, and there's only two ways we can go with it, right? But let's go with everything that it could possibly be. And I'm so mad because I'm on another podcast. I was on another podcast, and I already gave my opinion, but so this is it's dated. But like I said, you could put Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer is probably one of the honorable mentions, but I think he said he wouldn't do it. It's definitely one of the honorable mentions. Like, without a doubt, Tommy Dreamer is number one of everybody's mind, right? Of course, you can't do Taz. And I believe they said something about Shane Douglas is out of the, is out of there, which is a bummer. I heard people say Stone Cold. I heard people say, Vince is out of there too. There's so many ECW contenders that you can put in this slot, and understand that whoever inducts this man, and I don't know if they got it already or they want. I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep it to the vest, but whoever inducts Paul Heyman is going to. It's gonna be you have to come with it, bro. And this is why my opinion is my opinion. Y'all can let me know what y'all think in the chat. Y'all can let me know in the comments, everything. But Tommy Dreamer, Taz is a shame that can't happen, or Shane. They said Stone Cold would be a great. I don't see. I know that he was in ECW for a little bit. That's where he started. He cut that infamous promo and whatnot, and I just don't see Stone Cold. Like, I just really don't see Stone Cold. So, there's only two ways you could go about it. Fuck it, we're just gonna cut to it, right? There's only two ways you could go about inducting this man because he's so fucking great. We gotta put it to where he's inducting himself. That's probably the only way to do it, because the only other way to do it, and let me tell you why that you induct yourself into the Hall of Fame, because there's nobody else that can do what you can do. Paul Heyman on a mic. You can put CM Punk, but I just don't see it where it's just like the relationship. I wish Brock Lesnar. Maybe that's why they still have Brock Lesnar on the roster still. But I just don't see where any of those guys can, like. I would love if Brock did it, but Brock don't like people, and he's not. He has this thing. But that, I think, now that I think about it, I think that's why they put him back on the active roster, to induct Paul Heyman. Because if it's not himself, right? If Paul Heyman is not inducting himself, because there's nobody else that can do it the way he can do it. Nobody could beat Paul Heyman in a mic. So you put Paul Heyman on himself, or every single ECW guy. All right, you just give everybody a 30-second induct, and you put the rest of the show on this man, which I'm sure they can do. But now that I'm saying it out loud, Brock Lesnar would be the perfect candidate. I think that's why they have him on the roster now, because I'm putting two and two together as we speak live right now in real time at 6:45. I believe that's where they're going with it. Brock Lesnar is going to induct Paul Heyman, or Paul Heyman inducts himself. or everybody on the ECW roster that is possible is going to be on that stage standing by Paul Heyman, which I think should happen anyways. I love Paul Heyman, and I know he'll never see this. Who knows? Maybe in a just to date this. I love Paul Heyman. I've always loved Paul Heyman because that's that guy. And I'm glad that we're doing these videos now before we have to do them when our heroes are gone. And whether or not Paul wants to be a heel or whatever, that is one of my heroes in wrestling. Thank you, Paul, for everything that you have done. Thank you for the mind that you have brought us and the product that you have provided us. You're on the Mount Rushmore all 4 times, if possible. Just everything from your mic skills to your management skills to your brain to the shots that you call. Just everything about Paul Heyman needs its flowers. You need to be inducted more than once. Just be inducted just for Paul Heyman. Be inducted as the best manager. Be inducted for the best. You know what I mean? Just thank you. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, Paul Heyman, if that's your real name, listen, man. Thank you, man. I would love to just shake your hand and just tell you, thank you from the bottom of my heart, my guy. Thank you for everything you have done. From here, from the High Flying Podcast, from the Luciano family, thank you. And without you, the game wouldn't be what it is today or ever. We had 100 years of wrestling, and the years that you have given, it means a lot. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing Dark Side of the Ring. I know usually I do a day late, but tonight we are going live and doing it. So I'm doing double duty today with the lives. I'm just trying to bring you all the content. I'm trying to make up for yesterday and stuff like that. I see some people are mad at the Vince McMahon video. Hey, we're all entitled to our opinions. This is the evidence that they're giving us. So if you criminally unsubscribed, Mark, I very much apologize for you being so sensitive. With all that being said, Dark Side of the Ring tonight, baby. Brutus the Beefcake out here doing big things now. Time by y'all. We're going to be covering that tonight at 10 o'clock. Dark Side of the Ring, Brutus the Beefcake story. I'm sure this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a lit one. And we just did the Terry Gordy, Terry Gordy story. I don't know why I keep saying that. These stories hit home, man. They hit home. Every time I watch these Dark Side of the Rings, man, I want to call my dad. I want to let him know how much I love him. I want to go take, I want him to take care of himself. I want to take care of myself. I want to get better. I want to be a better person because we all go through our shit. But I'm very interested in tonight. I got to get a little nap in, guys, because I've been on the go forever. I'm on energy drinks and water. But I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors at Get It Crackin' Studios. Thank you to them, man. If you want to get your shit right, if you're an upcoming artist or need a logo, you want your flyer done, you want that shit to look crispy, you go to Get It Crackin' Studios. They are located in Indiana. Get in touch with Alex. You hit me up. Let me know what's going on and leave your comments. Tell them that Biggie Bag sent you. And you'll get a discount on whatever you got going on. So shout out to Get It Crackin', Alex and them in Indiana, man. Doing big things over there. And thank you to everybody, man. I just want to let you know that I appreciate everybody that subscribes and likes and comments. And I wish I would do it more on the YouTube page so we get more traffic. But hey, it is what it is. So everybody, this is the High Flying Podcast. I am your boy Biggie Bag Johnny, and we are signing out. Remember to wear deodorant and good soap and shit, man. Just stay clean.
I'm just incredible. I told them niggas send me a killer. It's just incredible. Has this nigga ever had a classic on stage? Has he ever killed a Pro Tool? Spaz gave me 12 days. I had a bad feeling in my gut like eating soul food. They call you the wrestling bar god? Well, let me show you how to walk the ropes. I'm going old school. You ain't even as cool. Off the shoulders, bare arms across your top. Your whole legion is doomed. My fiends, some white boys. Them niggas is gnarly. They'll twist your fate, flipping off the buckle. Them niggas is hardies. This the Survivor Series. You niggas is dying. I hope your boy is humble. Cause I 30 niggas just to flood the ring. I turned this to a Royal Rumble. You see my squad? Full of gorillas, full of apes, full of degenerates. This long nose, that's Triple H. Your mean reactions is priceless. Till I bend wall your family. Let me see you do the crippler face. Paul Bearer voice. Welcome to hell, son. You got cane? Well, nigga, what block you sell from? Niggas knew you was a dead man ever since this motherfucking bell rung.
The Big Bag Network presents the High Flying Podcast, where we dive off the top higher than RVD and Matt Riddle's love child, with your host, Biggie Bag Johnny. Subscribe to the channel and stay up to date on all things wrestling related. So grab your belts and bongs, bad bitches with thongs, and watch whatever episode that you want to put on. It's the High Flying Podcast with Biggie Bag Johnny. Let's go.